town to town, from London to Saigon. I've been all around the world trying to protect your soul. Welcome, welcome. We're going to get started here. Getting ready to get started. What a privilege we have tonight. Thank you for joining me on this live broadcast, number 185. Your solution. We'll get started here in just a few minutes or a few seconds. Yeah. Checking everything out here, making sure that everything is flowing. Listening to a little bit of John G. Heroes tonight with lyrics. Your hero. All right. I think we can get this thing rolling now. Bear with me. I'm the engineer. I'm your host. And I'm also the coordinator. I'm excited to be here tonight. We're going to have a good time here of learning and progressing forward. This is episode 185. Welcome to Your Solution. Let me get back on the live stream here. I got to read this because this is so wonderful here. Your Solution Live, Interactive Influence. So thank you for joining us. This is episode 185. We're here every Sunday, 7:05 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. So once again, welcome guest, welcome community member to an hour of power, mind optimization, spirit recalibration. Let me see. Recalibration. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Spirit recalibration. So get in, lock the door, turn away every distraction because we need to make the best out of this power hour. Grab a pen, and did you invite a friend? We are a community of accountability. I hope you heard that one. We are a community of accountability. Tools, ideas, solutions, and one-on-one coaching if it's available. If spots are available. I am Coach Santos out of Stockton, California, the founder of the SOSM movement here, which I'm still kind of pushing along here, trying to get it going. And I am your number one interventionist here. And I'm not just talking about gambling. We're talking about many other areas in life also. So we're going to do a little bit of we're going to talk just a little bit tonight. I'm going to do my best to really, if you have a question, if you have a concern, if you've got something that you're going through, you're at the right place at the right time, I'm going to ask you to challenge me, throw your question out, throw your concern, your observation so that we can find your solution, your step, even if it's just one step forward. Man, so many people are looking for one step. They're looking for one door to open, something to happen. And that's what we're going to try to do here tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about regret, the word regret. Now, I've learned some things tonight about regret. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Hopefully, you'll be able to help me learn a little bit more about regret because, unfortunately, I still live with regrets. And it's not a happy feeling. All right, we've got a proverb today, a wonderful proverb out of the book of Revelation, something that gives me hope, gives me vision, and gives me future. So if you're not soldier scribe to this mission, to this community, I'm going to invite you to do that right now. So welcome, Jim. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that Jim's here. Hamo, welcome. Hamo, Adelaide Valdavinos, welcome. From Utah. All right, from Utah. Natalie. Hola, Natalie. Good to see you here. Coach Santos, what is my email? It's right there on the screen. soldiersofselfmastery.com/welcome. Drake, welcome to the broadcast. Sup, gang? All right. Well, I don't see Tristen. Tristen had some questions for me, Mr. Anti-Gambler. He may not be here. That's fine and dandy, but we are here. Jesse, welcome. Welcome, Jesse. Good to see you here. 45 minutes is going to go by very quick, folks. Shannon Peterson, welcome. Good to have you here. Listen, my community, if you have a question, if you got something, even if it doesn't have to do with gambling, it could be addiction. You know, gambling, addiction comes in different colors, different sizes, different flavors, and it may come at different seasons, right? And all of these things, what are they meant for? They can bring out the best out of you. They can, or they can bring the worst out of you. Right? Let's see if we can make some sense out of this. The word regret. We're going to look at the word regret, and we're going to learn a few things about regret. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And if you have, as I said, if you have a question, feel free, ask me. Before I get into anything, I'm going to look at the comments. Laura, welcome. Good to see you here. Safe trucking, Laura. Keith is with us. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good evening, everyone. And we are broadcasting via Facebook. Shout out to Facebook. Kind of excited. Man, are you guys feeling the challenge of life today? More than ever. I'm feeling the challenge of life. Let me see. Jesse, welcome. Let me see. Jesse, welcome. Jesse says, hi, everyone from North Folk, Madera County. I believe that's California. Madera. We're going to have to connect one of these days for a cup of coffee or something. Shannon, let me see. Shannon says, I did not gamble since last Sunday's show. Whoa. There you go. Flex the muscles, Shannon. Give those gambling, those whatever it is that you've been into, just give it a kick, give it a boot. It's a battle. It's a fight. For some folks, it's going to be a lot more challenging than others, right? Because some of us are more disciplined. Some of us have stronger characteristics. Some of us have been, we've had a good childhood, but somewhere along the way, you got lost, right? You got tempted. You got dissuade from the right direction. But we're here and we're fighting together. And I tell you, man, I'm so freaking grateful that I'm not gambling, because this is not a time to be gambling right now. A lot of people are losing everything, and some have lost everything completely, and they're nowhere to go. They're homeless. They're probably living in a vehicle, and it's not a pleasant. I tell you, living in your car, not having money, and living with regret, that is the perfect prescription for suicide attempt. Would you say that? Yes. So Jim, you're welcome. We're going to have Jim, if he wants to come on the screen. I did put up the, didn't I? I did put up the, let me see where it is. There it is right there. Show. If you want to come on the camera, you want to share something, you want to, one thing that the camera does, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to warn you, the camera, when you come on the camera, it makes you accountable. It makes you accountable. So thank you for not gambling. Let me see. I got to come back here. We had Sam. Welcome, Sam. I really enjoy your videos on YouTube, Santos. For real, they speak to me. Thank you, Sam. I'm glad that they do. And hopefully you'll keep coming back, be a part of this. As I mentioned, if you're not Soldier Scribe to this community, folks, Soldier Scribe today, immediately. And if you know someone that's hurting, share this channel. You don't have to try to hey, call Santos. And I had a friend call me, someone that has been in touch with me for probably about 2.5 years. And she is a professional from another part. Well, she's in the United States. And I really enjoy speaking to her. She's realizing that she needs more accountability. And don't we all need an accountability partner? When accountability is missing, it's like we've got free reign. It's like the range is wide open and we can get ourselves in trouble. We must have an accountability. This community is accountability. So Sharon or Shannon, welcome, Mark. You're here. Good to see you. Good to see you, Mark. Safe trucking, and we're going to bring Jim on here in just a minute. Hemo, Laura, I'm not that good, but Santos broadcast, I'm feeling good. Good, because you know what? My goal is to give you some of my energy. Man, I work hard to create my own energy so that I can pass it on to people, because it's true. We need energy, and humans pass on energy. So hopefully, man, you gain the strength that you need from this broadcast. You go through the week, come back here next Sunday and say, Santos, I kicked butt, man. I'm trying to watch my words because somebody said, hey, Santos, you shouldn't be swearing online. But every once in a while it slips out, okay? Every once in a while it slips out. So we're gonna add Jim. Thanks for Coach Jim is with us tonight. Jim, we're going to talk a little bit about regret, but before we do, I'm gonna pull something up on the screen, and I want to make sure that I can see the questions. I don't want to miss any questions if possible. I am feeling the challenge of believing in myself right now, just a bit frustrated. Well, I'm glad you're here, because I'm the same. I've got some things that are going on in my life that are really challenging me, and I have to face the fear. I have to face the challenge, and that doesn't necessarily feel good, but we need to do it because it's only going to bring the best out of us, right? When you face your challenge, when you face your fear, when you face that thing that you don't want to do, what happens? It brings the best out of you. It puts pressure and it brings the best. It's like the cap, right? We're taking the cap off, and you never know what's inside. Look at that, kind of disappears a little bit plastic. But until you open and take the cap off, you really won't know what's inside you. The wonderful treasures, the gifts, the abilities that the master above has given you. Unfortunately, gambling and addictions and those things will kind of put a lid on everything, right? They'll put a lid. We got to take that lid off. So I want to make sure that, let's see, Shannon. I believe it was Shannon. Yeah, I want to make sure that there we go. I did not gamble since last Sunday. Good for you. You made my night. You made my night, Shannon. So I want you to know that. All right. Let's get into this. If you have a good question and I didn't get to you, post it again. Okay. I'll do my best. Like I said, I'm the engineer, I'm the coordinator, I'm your host, and I'm going to do my best to. So, Jim, all the way from Tucson.
Hi there, Santos.
Give you a minute here. We're going to be talking about regret. How is things going there?
Pretty good. And yourself there, Santos? You doing well over in California?
Yeah, working on super fantastic. Enjoying the rain. I had my garage got flooded.
Oh
The
boy.
gutter broke and it's way up there. I couldn't, so I'm not even gonna. But it's all good because we need the rain. We definitely need the rain. So.
Yeah. You were talking about the topic of regret, and
Mm,
when you think about regret, I think about disappointment, and I believe that regret and disappointment, these negative feelings, they come from the difference between, you know, what uh, what we could have done and what we actually did. And that difference right there. I mean, if you did less than what you could have done or what you felt that you could have done, that's a deficit right there. And I mean that brings in a lot of negative emotion right there. Um, so it's if you want to get rid of regret, I think we have to I think we have to kind of decide to really believe that we have to do the best we can. We have to kind of do the best we can. We have to really be conscious of, at this moment, what's the best we can, and just go balls to the walls on that idea at that moment. And I mean, and you're just conscious. I mean, it takes effort, it takes energy, it takes a lot of discipline, to really, focus on just pounding, your deal. Um, and it's what did I write here? It says you got to build from something. You
E-
really got to build from something.
Exactly, Jim. And you just shared some very important words there, which I'm going to kind of tie into this. I want to just do a little bit of reading. Hopefully, um, let me see what the screen looks like because just want to make sure that. But we are talking about the word regret. And what is regret? What really is regret? Jim was just sharing a few insights there. I want to read something. Let me see if I can see this. Ooh, okay. Um, there's quite a bit here that I'm going to read a little bit, but what does it mean? Let me see. Here's what regret is. It's interesting because I learned some things as I was reading. Regret, it's a verb, feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done. So something that has happened or been done, especially a loss. Kind of sounds like gambling there. Money, right? When you lose money, when you lose money in the beginning, you feel it. After a while, it really begins to it almost like it eats away and it tears a part of you where you become like, I don't care anymore. And then, like Jim said, balls to the wall, and you start losing everything. Or a missed opportunity. I've got a little bit more here. A feeling of sadness about something sad or wrong, or about a mistake that you have made, a wish that it could have been different or better. Man, I was just driving up here from Home Depot, and I was driving up here from Home Depot, and I was just thinking about the regret that I live with. In 2013, 2012, 2013, a few years before 2014, I came into a large sum of money, quite a bit. It was close to $250,000. So in the bank, in several banks, I had that type of money. I've never had that kind of money, never in the past. I had a few dollars here and there. But one thing that I learned about this thing about money, and many people that gamble or that win the lottery also find this out for themselves. When you're not prepared up here for large amounts of money, um, there's no telling what can happen. But sadly, most people that come into large amounts of money, like myself, don't know how to control the issue, don't know what to do, don't know who to trust. So we use the finances, and especially if you have an addiction, you can count that money. You can basically wave to that money because it is going to go right back to where it originated from. That's the sad thing about gambling. A lot of people want to win. Man, win $1 million, $2 million. What if you're in the casino and you hit big? It can literally destroy you if you're not prepared for it. It did me. I admit it. It destroyed me. It basically it came and it was gone. And then before that, the prior years, all of the thousands of dollars that I was losing. So I can talk to you a little bit about regret. And I'll tell you, you have to build your mind. You have to develop your character to live after that, because there are numbers of people that can't do it and they end up taking their lives because they can't live with the regret. A feeling of sadness about something. And I'm going to give Jim here. Let me get something else here. Um, This is something that I want to read before I get Jim on the regrets are also how we can learn about ourselves. That's interesting. And know what it is we really want. In feeling regret, we have clarity about what outcome and things we truly want for ourselves. Now, I don't understand this completely, how this could work. Maybe you have to think about regrets right before something happens. I mean, can you feel regret? Can you think about regret before something happens? Yeah, we can do that. I don't quite understand this because I never really knew about this. Now I'm starting to learn what regret is. And I tell you, regret is devastating. So, Jim, let me get back to you. We got a little bit more to read here a little bit later. I do have a proverb. I'm going to let Jim, let me get rid of this. Let me see if I can get rid of this. There we go.
And when you talk about regret, and how do we approach regret? It seems like when we do regret things, it's a very one-sided deal, kind of like worry. I think we were talking about worry last time. It's only one viewpoint of the situation. It's like losing a whole bunch of money. It's like, I should have done this, I should have done that. Why was I so stupid? I just ruined my life. I regret what I did. I made such foolish decisions. And I mean, on that particular path, I mean, you're just kind of opening yourself up to just, self-inflicted wounds. You're just firing all sorts of just bullets and arrows and slashes at you. I mean, you know, uh, you got
It's horrible even thinking about this stuff, isn't it? Just
it's
thinking
hard.
about these things. Because we have little regrets. We all have regrets of some kind.
Yeah.
Some little ones. I can deal with the little ones. But it's the whoppers that really get you.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
not the chicken McNugget, right? It's not.
it,
It's the double whopper that gets you. The
it's
regret.
it's I think it could drive you. I mean, if you're serious about helping yourself, you can actually use, like, I guess in like judo or something, how they use the opponent's weight against you. You can actually try to use that as a way to help yourself. It's like
Mhm.
it could force you to learn how to forgive yourself. I mean, it's like, that it happened. I made a mistake. I screwed up. And there's nothing I can do really to get back what I lost. You know, I made a mistake. You know, it could allow you, if you're open-minded enough, to say, you know what, out loud, I made a mistake, and you know what, I forgive myself. I made a mistake. And there, at that moment, in that situation, I thought that was the best thing I could do. My emotions weren't right, and I made bad choices. I'm going to forgive myself, and I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to learn from it. And it's going to, I'm going to use that regret, as a memory to learn to never go back there again. I'm going to use that discomfort, that pain, to push me in a better direction. Never again am I going to go back there. I'm going to, when I make decisions, I'm going to be more thoughtful, and I'm going to go back to that place where I made a mistake, and I'm going to, use that as wisdom. I mean, like, we all have our own personal wisdom. You can't get wisdom from a book. The only wisdom that you can get is from your own personal experiences, and perhaps, regrets and mistakes that we make is the best teacher, the best way for us to figure out, what is the right path.
Well, we can get. Well, I'm not trying to disprove what you said, but we can read a book and we can draw out of it, and the wisdom we have wisdom of the experiences that we've gone through. And again, it's just a confirmation. we may not get wisdom, but it's sort of we're getting wisdom. It's kind of we're getting a confirmation of the best direction
That's right.
to
Yeah,
move in.
it's a
But
combination.
I live with regret, and I have to fight regret. I live with it, and I have to fight it. Some days it's really hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's that
You
little
know?
devil that's just whispering your ear, saying that this is the only, this was a horrible thing, and you messed up your life. You screwed up is because of you yourself. It's like, and it's a lot of noise, you know, that's
Yeah,
that that's
that's a
overshooting
good
all
word
this.
there. It is a lot of noise,
Lot of noise that's
distraction,
drowning
noise. Yeah.
out. It's drowning out. Like, what got me into that position? Well, shoot, I had a messed up family life. I was a wreck when I was growing up, and
Jim,
it's
what
like,
is regret? What is living in painful regret do to a marriage? What does it do to a business? What does it do to a community
it
of
takes away
people?
it takes away your confidence. I mean, you lose your confidence. You don't you doubt yourself. You don't have an ability to you know pick yourself up. Some people, like the homeless people I remember you talking about some homeless people. It's like
Yeah,
they're so low that they can't pick up their head. Even though there's some resources around, they just can't do it because they just lost their confidence. Because that voice, those voices are so loud. I think about the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the Kings, where that that uh, that guy, that ghoul was, always whispering into the king's Leodon, or whatever his name was, and he was, just speaking all these nonsense things into his mind and making bad decisions. It's just that's the kind of voice that we need to just say, shut the hell up, just shut
yeah.
up, you know, you
And
know.
I'm going to get back here because I want to add to this. I do want to read a little bit more, but I got a proverb. This proverb that I'm going to read actually gives me hope. Hopefully, as I read it, again, I'm kind of spiritual. I don't belong to a church or anything like that. I will never go into a church ever again, but I do my best to feed my mind because I realized when I was gambling, I wasn't feeding my mind. I was not doing any of that. I was just actually, I was feeding my mind. I was feeding my mind poison, right? What is it? Poison, basic, just straight up poison is what I was doing. And so when I was reading this about um, regret, let me see if I can get, is regret a good thing? Well, regrets are also how we can learn about ourselves and know what it is that we really want. Sometimes we're in life and we have no clue. We don't know where we're going. We really don't have any real direction. We really don't know what it is that we truly want. Well, I know one thing. I know one thing I don't want anymore because I learned through regret. Gambling. Um, Gambling is just far away from me. Uh, and let me say this to anyone that's on here that's listening, that's really paying attention, and you may have a struggle. You can overcome. You can overcome. You're going to live with some things, right? One of them will be regret. And we have to learn how to live with regret. We must. That's why it's important to belong. Today, more than ever, we need, man. We could be so proud and isolated, and we think, man, I can do this alone. No, you can't. You can't. If you haven't been able to do it alone, you can't. You might as well accept the fact. Learn how to live, right? Learn how to live with regret. Learn how to manage your regret, but learn how to grow through it. And that's why I believe this community right here, um, by God's grace, He's given me the ability to do this, to put this together. And I just hope that this thing keeps growing and reaching people all around. I I started a thing on TikTok and I got caught up in the world of TikTok. And then I realized, wait a minute, Santos, why are you on TikTok, man? You're there to help people with addiction. You're there to help people with gambling issues, people that are living in just like you. And I started changing it and I noticed the messages are different. I'm starting to attract different kinds of people because I'm more focused now. But I want to read something here before I go on because, we're gonna unfortunately we live with little regrets. We'll live with big regrets, and the better that we can become, the less regret that we will have to live with. And the less regret that you live with, the better your life is going to be on a daily basis. Do you agree with that? Here's Revelation, the proverb for today, Revelation 21. This really gives me hope. It really gives me hope. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. How all this is going to happen, I have no idea. But I believe that it's going to happen. I believe there's going to be a new earth. I believe there's going to be a new system. Somehow it's going to come because it's written. For the first earth were passed away and there was no more sea. That's kind of interesting. There's no more sea, no more borders, no more separation. It's going to be unity of people. Now, that is figurative language also, but it does say there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. It's kind of interesting. So that gives me hope. We got to have something to shoot for. We got to have something to focus on, something that gives us, energy, that gives us vision to at least climb over all of these heavy regrets, because man, regrets can get really heavy. And after a while, you're trying to keep that regret. You're living with it, man. It weighs you down, man, if you're not part of something that can help you. Um, but why is regret so painful? Here's another one. The reason why regret feels so awful is because by its nature, it implies that there is something you could have done, some choice you could have made, or some action you might have taken that would have made something good happen or avoided something terrible. The word regret is not a bad word, right? Oh, don't talk to me about regret, man. I don't want to hear that word. It's not a bad word. It's what's involved in all of that here.
Santos, and when it comes to regret, maybe, if we decide that we want to have less regrets in our life, I think about what Jim Rohn said. He said that, disaster doesn't happen, in one fell swoop. Usually disasters don't happen. It's a steady accumulation of just doing wrong things, of being undisciplined. The steady accumulation day after day, doing the just moving in the wrong direction, like eating, 10 donuts every day. I ate 10
Right.
donuts, I feel fine. The next day, eat 10 donuts, feel fine, I'm
Mhm.
okay. But over time, I mean,
Yeah.
like you got your diabetes, you
Yeah.
got your heart attack, you got whatever, right? That heart attack, boom, there's your disaster. And it's like, geez, looking back on it, I regret all those days. I could have eaten a apple, but I chose donuts. Now, I mean, it's like that's where your journaling comes in so helpful.
Yeah.
You journal what happened today. It's like, oh shoot, this didn't go quite well. It's like these are the things that I did, and let me go and reflect upon these things, like what I ate. I ate 10 donuts today. Geez, you know what? I felt awful. I didn't feel that good. I got sleepy. It's like, you know what? That I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea, you know? And then you kind of think about, well, why did you eat 10 donuts, And it's like, what if I keep on doing this? You know what? I gotta, I have a little mini regret. I made a mistake. I ate those 10 donuts. I'm not, now let me make a plan for tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me make a plan for tomorrow. I'll write that down. Tomorrow, freaking, I'm going to go ahead and do some exercise and eat an apple. You know what? And you do it. And it's like, you got back on track. And there lies, that turnaround moment where you said, you know what? I did what I I found a problem. I, I addressed it, and I changed, right? And I did something to counteract that problem. And right there, that's where that self-confidence starts growing right there. You start moving in the right direction. And then you get
But,
into
some,
that kind
but
of habit.
sometimes, but sometimes, as you're saying, in order to do that, you know, we need help. I don't like the word help, but we need support.
Yeah,
And my friend,
reminders.
you're not alone. We are alone. We are alone, but you're not alone. I know, um, Hamel says, I feel alone with my losses. That's, and yeah, that's part of the regret. That is but you have to, that's why you have to break out and be a part of something, join a community. Sometimes you may need to just get on the phone and call up the suicide hotline. Santos, have you done that? I've done that numerous times. I've gotten to the point, Jim, where with myself, where I was just feeling so horrible, man. My mind. You got to control your mind, man. And as soon as I start feeling something, I'll call somebody. I'll call the VA. I'll call my a counselor, and I'll talk. I'll get it out. I feel so much better. But when you hold it in, you're by yourself, man, you're gonna set yourself up for something horrible. Your insides will eat you. It'll eat away. And you may be able to sleep, possibly that, but again, the next day you have to break out of that place, and you got to do something. Remember, this lady said, read a book, right? In fact, this one counselor told me, um, Feeling Good. There's a book out there called Feeling Good by Dr. Brian. Oh, I didn't read the book, but I watched this podcast. Very, very interesting. And he talked about just finding one or two, three things that you've accomplished in your life and focus, learn to shift your focus. Sometimes we think, man, everything is lost. It's all gone. I've got nothing. Okay. That's your wall of shame. But do you have anything on your wall of fame? Right? Do you have is there two accomplishments that you can focus on that took you some effort to do it? It was difficult. It was a hard time, but you did it. You did that thing. And we need to learn to shift. That's why it's so good to be accountable, to belong to like a group like this that can help us expand and think. We need to be accountable. We need to have accountability. It's easy to do wrong when you're not accountable to anything or anybody. It's easy, man. But when you have accountability, that's one of the things that has helped me overcome gambling, is getting online, getting on YouTube, and telling the whole world I'm no longer a gambler. That's big time accountability right there. You want to be accountable. You want to quit gambling fast. In fact, I said this one time. You want to get out of that addiction that you're in really quick? Start telling everybody. Force yourself to tell everybody, because then you're going to have to face all of these people if you don't. So either that's going to help you, or if it's not going to help you, man, you're in a bad situation. You're in a bad situation. I've been in programs. I've been in a rehabilitation home. I'm not ashamed to say that when I feel something, I get on the phone. I don't hold it in. And of course, I do use my journal quite a bit. But I just don't let myself think, man. Like earlier today, I was coming out of Home Depot. Carrying a garbage can. And I started feeling sorry for myself. We were talking about that last week, I believe. I started feeling sorry for myself. And I said, Santos, what the heck are you doing, man? Why are you feeling sorry? You have no need to feel sorry for yourself, man. Get out of there. Get out. And immediately. See, the more you do it, the easier it gets. But we all feel that way. We feel down. And we look at the wall of shame. When somebody tells you, man, shift your focus, get on the wall of fame. It's not that bad, right? We're still alive. We can still get a job. We still have our hands and feet. We can talk. We can change things. Hopefully I'm making some sense here, man. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, like right there, Santos, I think it's very important to stay in the present,
Thank,
the present,
thank you.
you know, it's because our mind is always thinking about the past. And it's that goblin, that little turd voice, that talks about all those reminders of how you messed up and are associating all the things, the bad
Yeah,
things, and it's like pointing you. You're going over there. The trash heap. That's where you're going because of all the stupid things you did in the past. And
hell yeah, Gehenna.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean that's that voice, and you got to discipline that stupid voice, and be the boss of that guy. And I think it's important to stay in the present. It's like, look, here's my situation. I'm going to take care of this task right now. Get this task done. This is what my job right now. This is what I need to get done. I'm going to focus on that. And
Exactly.
those little things right there, they build up. You stay in the moment, right? And you just shut that turd voice of regret, and disappointment. You gotta discipline that thing and just send it to the corner right there. um just do whatever it takes,
Yeah,
because
build
it's
your
telling you
business.
lies. It's telling you
Yeah,
lies,
build your
man.
business, right? Your business is small. You failed at it last week, but you know you can do it. Start again. Take another step. Or maybe it's a job. Maybe you don't have a bit. Maybe you want a business. You want to start a business, but you've got all regret and you got to take a step. You got to be willing to face your fear. We I admit sometimes I want things easy, but I realize that easy is not good for me. Easy is not going to bring the best out of me. Right? As a soldier, as a as an interventionist, if I want to become the very best, man, I'm going to have to go through some pressure. I'm going to have to learn how to live with these things that I've gone through so that I can help other people. But if I break down and I just keep telling myself, man, with my self talk, I feel alone, or I feel it's easy to feel sorry for yourself. It's really easy, and then you shut down. Your mind is extremely powerful if you use it, but if you don't use it, you're going to live with regret. You're going to live with it, and regret can get really heavy. It can get really heavy. I think Jim Rohn talks about. I don't know if it's exactly. He talks about regret, the consequences of living with our actions. you know, in the beginning of doing something, yeah, it's going to cost you. You start something new, you're new at it, it's difficult, it's challenging, but you're moving in a better direction. To do it now, do it early, right? To get away from get away from the addiction, change. But if you keep dabbling, I got time, you keep messing around, I got money, you keep messing around, 5 years down the road, man, now you're carrying a boulder, man. And you've got a boulder that's it's like at that point, it's hard to take advice in. It's hard to really turn. You can still do it, but it becomes, like I said, it becomes really heavy. And that's what I'm trying to keep people from, get people out away from the regrets, because we've all had losses. But if I can help save someone really, really early on, man, I've done my job. 1 million souls out of the fire. That's my hope. That's my desire to see that happen. Just to have people come on, get that mindset where, you know what, I can do this, man. I can change, man. I can learn to live with these little regrets and just turn my life and keep going forward. And day by day, like you said earlier, a little bit here. One Sunday, Shannon talked about she hasn't been gambling for a whole week. Shout out to you. Oh, by the way, I do want to say this. Listen, hey, Hugo, welcome. Nice to see you here. We accept our losses. If you don't, you will go back. And money. Listen, I appreciate this mission. I'm doing my best here to reach out to people. If you feel supported here, I'm going to ask you to contribute. $5, $10. Don't give it all to the casino. Pour it into this ministry here, this mission. Who knows where we can go with this, man? I've got so many ideas, so many different things that we're trying to do. But one thing also is that because I'm speaking out about these kinds of things, believe me, there are people out there that don't want me speaking about these things. There are people and there are systems out there that will put some roadblocks in front of me. And today with the way the world is, gambling is a big, big deal. And when you put yourself out there and you start speaking truth, you're putting your life on the line to a degree. And think, Santos, if this mission that we have here continues to grow and I'm reaching wider audiences, you don't think it's going to get the attention of these authorities, which I believe it already has to a certain degree. I got to live with this. I'm willing to risk my life, and I know that I'm risking myself by doing what I'm doing. I know this, but I'm willing to do this because I feel that I have to. I'm free, and I'm going to help others get free and stay free and learn how to work the mind. Learn how to work the mind. So please contribute to this. I don't care if it's $2 or $20 or $30. Don't give your money away to these other communities that are going to cause you to live in sincere, deep regret. Contribute. If you want to find, well, maybe you don't want to just give money directly, but you want to get a project going with me or with Coach Cephas, or maybe Jim might have something that he's got an idea on. Get a little bit of money, we work it, we reach people, we continue to build together because the money's going to be gone. Listen, I'm not piling up tons of money like I used to. I had well over $250,000 in several banks. It's all gone. Man, I wish I could have taken $100,000 and put it into an annuity. I am a life insurance agent. In fact, I specialize today in retirement income, long-term care, critical care, final expense, which is a life insurance policy, and health expenses. And I'm visiting with people and I'm seeing money where it's going and where it needs to go. And we really need to pay attention to where our money's going. We need to put it into good areas that can multiply. Because when you give, it comes back to you. It has a way of coming back to you. So keep that in mind when you're headed to the casino. Man, I'm on my way to the casino. Santos said I should donate $10, $20. Wait a minute, I've got $200 I'm thinking about going to the casino with. Take the $200 and send it to me. I'm not saying, well, it's about put it into something that's going to benefit you. If you truly believe that this is a community that's helping people. Because if not, you're going to continue giving your hard-earned money to another community that opposes this community. So I had to get that out there. And so I thank you, Keith. I know Keith supports here, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everything that you guys do. I appreciate you guys for being here. I wouldn't be here if you weren't here. So a big thank you ahead of time. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, in regards to regret, and those gremlin voices that are speaking to you. You got to flip the narrative. That's what I was thinking. You got to flip the narrative because I was thinking about this over the weekend. If you do nothing, and if you choose to do nothing, you're guaranteed to just keep going down. You're guaranteed if you do nothing. And that gremlin says, I don't bother changing because you're a failure. You messed up so many times. That
Wow.
voice is preventing you from taking steps to change. What if you do make a change? There's a possibility that you could screw up, right? But guaranteed, right? Guaranteed, if you do nothing, you're going to end up in the dumps. Guaranteed. So flipping the narrative and saying, you know what? Doing
Yeah.
something is a lot better, whole lot better than doing nothing. doing nothing. We got to remind ourselves that, because if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep forgetting.
Yeah.
And with
You're gonna keep
regrets,
getting.
we regret negative memories, right?
You're gonna keep
It's
getting. Yep.
reminders like
Exactly what you're saying.
we need to change,
Exactly.
you know, and you write in your journal what you want to change, right? And you take action. It takes energy, right? And we have to have that. We have to build up that confidence, and that's why you talk about mini victories. Start accomplishing mini victories to build up your confidence that, what, it's doable. It's doable, right? And once you start doing that, you know
Yeah.
it's going to get easier for you to start making those changes, right? Making the changes is going to lead you in that better direction, and it'll move you away from that realm of regret, right? Because you're
Exactly.
taking action.
One step. One step. What's one thing that you can do today? Right. We're actually coming to the end of the close. Man, this has been kind of an exciting, challenging firehouse today. Um, we've had some numbers on this broadcast that I haven't had before. So I want to thank Facebook. I want to thank LinkedIn, because we are broadcasting live via LinkedIn, and of course our famous YouTube. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Let's look at these 10 tips here, because I'm getting ready to do my call to action. And Jim, I really appreciate you for being here. Coach Jim, I don't know, we're going to have to expand maybe Coach Jim a little bit, because you never know. You might end up having some coaching requests also. But I'm not saying that Jim is a coach available for this. That's his decision, but he's here helping, supporting, and I truly. By the way, Jim is a businessman, and I'm sure he's had a lot of ups and downs. So he has a lot of knowledge that he can share with anyone out there that is a businessman, um, either in the making or in the process of owning your own business. So keep that in mind. But I want to do the call to action here, because I know time is moving along. But here's 10 tips. Acknowledge your feelings, right? We're acknowledging our feelings here, right? Avoid obsessing about past regrets. Boy, that's a killer right there. Obsessing about past regrets. Assess how you cope with your regrets. One of the ways that you can do that is by coming here every Sunday. This is a great community. There's great energy, there's great wisdom here, and take action, right? Take action. This is not just a feel good, because when it comes to taking action, yeah, it's going to be a little painful. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a little bit. Show yourself some kindness. 5, give yourself time to heal from a past regret. Journaling, counseling here. Actually distract yourself. I was talking to somebody earlier that wants to stop smoking. I said, well, how are you going to, you got to distract. Why are you smoking? Right? What's it? You're focused on your wall of shame. Well, you've quit before. Focus on your wall of fame. How can you draw strength from that time period in the past and bring it into today? Right? How can you draw strength from some victory that you've had in the past? People say, well, you can't go into the past. You can't change the past, but you can go into your past and you can draw strength from it for the future, which is really cool how the mind works. Create a new set of goals. Create one goal. Create one goal. Set yourself a goal. Consider counseling, right? There's more items that I could read there, but I'm going to stop there, because I'm going to do my call to action. If you're feeling it, don't stay there. Make the best of your mind and bend your reality. You've heard this before. Bend your reality. Reality can be bent, right? It has to do with the way you think and the action that you take. If you don't think and you don't take no action, you ain't bending. The only thing you're going to bend is your wallet into emptiness with the addiction or gambling or some other vice that you're getting into. Get help if you can't alone. Get help if you can't alone, right? Connect with me. I'm offering 45 minute, 60-minute coaching session. You don't have to pay for that. I'm not asking you to coach with me. If you decide that you want to coach with me, that's your option. But I'm giving you an opportunity. If you want to sit with me and we want to dissect one thing, just one thing, because I'm not going to be all over the place like we are here. But if you have one goal, you want to sit with me, you're welcome to shoot me a message down below. We'll set up a time as long as the spot's available, because, if the spots aren't available, then there's no coaching. Seek counsel, and most importantly, seek accountability. You feel alone. The reason why you feel alone is because you don't have any accountability. You must have accountability, my friends, community members. So, with that said, I want to thank each and every one of you guys. I'm going to give Jim a minute here to share his last words. And again, we are here on Sundays, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be here as long as I can do this program. And I'm going to continue to reach out to a million souls out of the fire, man. That's my vision. That's what I want to see. People all over the place popping up here and there saying, Santos, man, I've overcome it, man. Santos, I overcame this addiction in my life. Santos, I did this, man. You know what? I finally began believing in myself. Jim talked about one thing. He talked about taking one step, making one step in that last episode. And I listened to Jim, listened to you. And here I am today sharing, on camera or whatever. So, Jim, I'm going to give you some last words here, and then I'm going to acknowledge all of our friends that are here with us. And we're going to come to the climax of the program. And I feel like I've just been running my mouth.
Yeah. So, in regards to regrets, number one, forgive yourself, use it as a learning experience. Forgive yourself, and most importantly, understand that you made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? Acknowledge that you made a mistake and just forgive yourself, and use it as a learning experience. And number two, let's try to work on reducing the regrets. And how do we do that? We have to build from something. And remember, regrets come from the regret, the destruction of regrets. The taking away of regrets is all about building up self-confidence. And how do we build up self-confidence and that self-esteem? We start taking action. We start building little victories, right? We write down little goals, right? And we get obsessed. Instead of getting obsessed about your regrets, like you said, get obsessed about little victories,
Exactly.
and build from those little victories. Write them down, and
Exactly.
learn from every day, and use that as fuel, to develop that discipline to start moving in the right direction. Use those painful memories, in the back, but you know what? You're not going to let them control you. You say, you know what? That's a guidepost right there. It's like, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Thank you. I appreciate that for happening in my life, because you know what? I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. I have better wisdom now.
Yep.
And
Exactly. Exactly. I have better wisdom now. Exactly. So, with that said, I want to thank each and every one of you guys that did contribute to this mission. And there was one more. Hey, Santos, do you believe in such a thing? Hi, Carol. Shout out to Canada there, I believe. Saskatchewan. Forgive me. My mind's all over the place. Hey, Santos, do you believe in such a thing as non-problem gambling or gambling? My friend, anything that could lead you in the wrong direction, that's a decision that you have to make upon yourself. Me personally, I don't want anything to do with gambling. I stay away from it. I don't really care for it. The desire is gone in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful. The desire has been killed. I put it in a casket. I had a funeral. Maybe you need to have your funeral, right? All right.
Real quick, Santos.
Go ahead, Jim.
What do you say about this? About this quote? I heard this quote a while ago. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. If you don't stand for saying no to the casino, saying no to that one drink, saying no to that cigarette, whatever it is, right? If you don't stand for saying no, what's going to happen? You know? So we have to stand for something, right? We have to choose
Yeah.
one thing and we have to stand by it, make it a rock right there.
Exactly.
Right. So
Exactly. Day by day, just day by day. Take it tomorrow. Today's almost over. I don't know how well you did today, but if you didn't do the wrong thing, hey, there's a little trophy on your wall of fame. Tomorrow's another day, day by day, right? Don't worry about Friday. Don't worry about Saturday. It may not come for you. Tomorrow comes, you decide, take one step, like Jim said, one thing, okay? And as we mentioned in the call to action. So with that said, friends, if I know we've got a holiday coming up, I believe we'll meet before the holiday. And if I don't see you, I wish you a happy holiday for you and your family. I hope that you have a safe holiday and that you begin to enter into the new year prepared now instead of waiting to prepare for the new year. So with that said, I want to thank you, Carol, for being here for a little bit. Carol Crow, Laura, thank you for being here. Laura, Barry, thank you for being here. Hamo, thank you for being here. Terrence, thank you for. Laura says, take notes. Yes, take note, or you're gonna dump your boat. Take the note, or you're gonna dump your boat. I don't know if that made sense. That sounded pretty good. Ken, thank you for being here. Nova Scotia, all the way from Nova Scotia, I believe. In fact, I just got a message from Kel Roland on one of my videos. Maybe he's from Nova Scotia. No, I believe Ken is. All right. Hamo, Barry, Rob, Keith, Auto Magic, good to see you here. We're going to be back here on Sunday. Getting revenge on gambling. By the way, gambling's a lie. I might have forgotten to say that. Hugo, good to see you. And let me see who else. Thank you appreciate the contributions. I really do. K6, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. And who else? There's many others. I haven't gotten all these names. But we've had quite an audience. It looks like people were watching. Keith, thank you for being here. Stay strong. I believe you will. And Ken Smith. Let's see, I believe. Wow. As the other. So with that said, my friends, I'm going to, let me see if I can just turn this thing on and we're going to head out the door here in just a minute. Okay. Terrence, thank you. Mark, thank you for being here with us tonight. For the community, Shannon, keep it going. Keep it going, Shannon. Made my night. Sam, welcome for being with us. Thank you. I appreciate you for sharing. And Jesse, thank you for being here from Madera County, Cali. Drake. Is Drake a rapper? I think it is. There you go. Thank you for being with us. Natalie Luna. Hola. Thank you for being with us. Adelaide. Thank you for being all the way from Utah. Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake City, Utah. And then, hey, we can't forget Jim. Thank you, Jim, for being with us. Remoto motorized bicycles. With that said, my friends, I'm going to see you at the top on the inside on my very next one. Sunday. This is the community, the right place at the right time.
thanks, Santos. Have a good week.
You too, Jim. Be safe, brother.
Take care. Bye-bye.